The chemistry between Rick and Chelsea in the White Lotus was no mere acting.
A heartfelt tribute to Rick and Chelsea, Walton Goggins wrote this. Ours was a love story. Thank you, AMIEE, for being my partner, a journey I will never forget. What the world has become obsessed with is the fact that they had so much love for each other. They went on and on about loving working together.
The cast of White Lotus actually lived together whilst they're filming.
During filming, Walton only went home once because he was busy spending time with AMIEE.
And it looks like these conditions have taken a toll on Walton and AMIE's friendship. They now no longer follow each other.
The first time I met AMIEE, I knew that she was going to be a very, very, very important person in my life.
White Lotus is starting to become a reality because what happened between Walton Goggins and Amy Lou Wood on screen also happened behind screen. They had a secret relationship and something happened, but now they're no longer friends. They're not even following each other, and it seems like Walton has gone back to his wife. This seems like some on-set romance that became a complicated feud. And now these two stars do not like each other, and I feel like Walton's in some trouble. So let's get into it. Now, we all tuned into White Lotus and we love it because of the drama, but in reality, there's drama there all the time, behind the scenes as well, especially between Walton Goggins and Amy Lou Wood. There's some bizarre relationships, some tension between them, and I always say, when actors go away and they play these roles, there's some feelings that get involved, which is why we're going to talk about this feud between Walton and AMIEE. And these are two characters that everyone fell in love with on the show. What started off as a stray cast comments about off-screen tension turned into rumors about a feud between these two. While behind the scenes photos hinted at a close bond between the cast, they all looked like friends. One of the actors actually surprised us with comments of an off-screen divide, some division, some fight. And I mean, damn, they must be good actors, unless Walton really couldn't stand her because he never really loved her character like she deserved it. And I think that's part of the storyline. It was so sad.
A heartfelt tribute to Rick and Chelsea, Walton Goggins wrote this. Rick and Chelsea with the heaviest of hearts to me. Ours was a love story. It was only ever a love story hindered by unresolved childhood trauma. We all have them, but we can move past them in the depths of our despair. There's always beauty around us. Blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Mike White. Thank you, AMIEE Lou, for being my partner, a journey I will never forget, so on and so forth. What the world has become obsessed with is the fact that they had so much love for each other. They went on and on about loving working together.
Quote, some people got very close. There were friendships that were made and friendships that were lost. All the things you would imagine with a group of people unanchored from their home lives on the other side of the world. And this intense pressure cooker of a working environment with eye-melting heat and insects and late nights. And you guys know I was in Thailand back in December, and I love Thailand, but I went there in the coolest time of year and it gets hot over there. They say in the show what happens in Thailand stays in Thailand, but there's an off-screen White Lotus as well with fewer deaths, but just as much drama. Now, this actor was actually questioned more because he gave us quite a quote, but he said he would not elaborate. I become very close to the people and less close to others, but we still all had that experience together. Now, of course, viewers took this and they looked at what's going on with Walton and AMIEE, and they realized that they're not even following each other on Instagram anymore, which is quite a switch up. I mean, I thought they were on a good note at first. Now, I don't know what is up with Jason Isaacs. He played the dad that was constantly popping pills and had some bad things going on back home with the businesses. Well, this actor, he likes to talk, and over here on this channel, we love a talker. He said it was like a theater camp, but to an extent, an open prison camp. You couldn't avoid one another. There were alliances that formed and broke, romances that formed and broke, friendships that were formed and broke. It's a long period of time to be away from their family with an open bar and all the wildness being Thailand. While witnessing the alleged tension, our talker, Jason Isaacs, recalled not being exempt, adding, I can't pretend I wasn't involved in some drama. Dave Bernard has seen it before twice, and so has Mike White. I can't speak for them, but I imagine they think it feeds into on-screen drama, and they might as well be right. I think the heat contributed to these factors. So all these unhappy actors from Hollywood who got this amazing gig that they're gone for months and months and months, just are like fighting over the heat. Sounds like an episode of Survivor, which is funny because, like, you know, Mike White was on Survivor. You know what's worse than getting injured? Fighting with the insurance company afterwards. They will often stall, delay, and lowball you because their goal is to pay you as little as possible because they are not on your side. That's where Morgan & Morgan comes in. They are the largest injury law firm in America with over 1,000 attorneys and millions of clients served. They've secured billions of dollars for settlements and verdicts, including a $26 million payout in Philadelphia, 40 times more than what the insurance company originally offered. And the best part about Morgan & Morgan is that they don't charge anything up front. There is no consulting fee, there's no hourly rate, there's no hidden cost by going and getting them to help you out. So if you've been hurt in an accident, Morgan & Morgan has your back if you become their client. You can go to forthepeople.com/Sloan or scan the QR code on the screen to start your claim now. You probably could get it submitted before this video is even over with, and it's not going to hurt to go and figure out how much you are owed. Thank you, Morgan & Morgan, for sponsoring this video, and enjoy.
The cast of White Lotus actually live together whilst they're filming. Jason said that to some extent it's like an open prison camp because you can't avoid one another. And AMIEE has actually also spoken about living in the intense conditions. AMIEE said it was like being on Big Brother because you constantly just feel like you're on set. And it looks like these conditions have taken a toll on Walton and AMIE's friendship. Although only 2 days ago, Walton posted about 11 photos of him and AMIEE dedicated to Rick and Chelsea. They now no longer follow each other.
Now, you guys know we love a blind item. Comment below if you tune in every Thursday for Blind Item Breakdown. Comment if you do. If you don't, maybe we might skip a week. No, we're not skipping a week. But I love Blind Item Breakdown, and I just want to hear you guys say it all the way in the back. Blind Item Breakdown, it's the best, right? Well, this blind item is juicy as chef's kiss. Speaking of that pay cable show, apparently the lead actress is not being quiet about being done dirty by her male co-star and their hookup. And who's it about? AMIEE and Walton. So weird to imagine that like they actually kind of had a relationship like off screen. I mean, the couple themselves, they didn't really make sense to me, but you know, I feel like Mike White, the director, he hires people who are similar to the character they're playing, and maybe they were kind of like that romance off screen.
You know, the first time I met AMIEE, I knew that she was going to be a very, very, very important person in my life, and I think she would say the same thing. And you know, I've had chemistry with a lot of people over the course of my career, but I knew instantaneously that this was a person that we could go anywhere together. And right out of the gate, we just became very, very, very close. And trust was an integral kind of part of that process. And we both wanted to honor the story of Rick and Chelsea, and found their love to be intoxicating and something that it didn't exist in time and space the way that we knew it, but was over, I don't know, 1,000 years, if you will, you know. And I felt that way the first time I met her. I felt I had known her, you know, for 1,000 years, and I think she felt the same about me. And so we had an incredible dance, the two of us.
The way that he says, like, we could go anywhere together. It's like, wait, like, it's almost like how you would describe your partner to your parent, you know, like, oh, you know, my boyfriend is great. Like, we can go anywhere together. We're just like a great bond. Sounds like he's talking about someone he's dating. But the speculation was unsubstantiated when Walton often spoke about having his wife, Nadia, and their son in Thailand with him. The damage was already done, however, with online rumors continuing to spark that Walton and AMIEE stopped following each other. I mean, weird timing. Everyone's talking about White Lotus and you're gonna not follow each other. It's like these people want drama and they're getting it. This Reddit post reads, I feel like no one's talking about the falling out of them. They unfollowed each other on Instagram a few weeks ago. Walton posts White Lotus stuff and tags everyone in the photos except AMIEE. Posts a whole tribute to White Lotus and doesn't tag her. Posts a ton of pictures of her on his story, but never tagging. This person wrote, I've mapped it out. I definitely think there is something going on between them, as most things do. Here's my case. They unfollowed each other on Instagram the past few weeks. He clearly blocked her because all her comments are gone from his Instagram. His is still on hers. She attended the final dinner. He did not. Instead, watched it with another co-star who did not go. His co-star Leslie Bibb loves Amy Lou and talks about her in all her interviews. Apparently they were friendly with his wife due to Sam and Walton's friendship. Now I do want to randomly state this. I actually met like Leslie Bibb, Amy, and Mike White, and Patrick Schwarzenegger. I went to the Chateau Marmont, which is a big Hollywood place, and I never even thought I could get in. It's a really big celebrity hotspot, and I was at the bar, and it was just them at the bar, and it was me celebrating my friend's birthday, and we all said hi and everything, and it was crazy. It was like, I think it's Leslie Bibb, the woman that has the short blonde hair, and it was her husband who gave us the speech about the Thai lady boys that he's into, and then there was Amy, and then there was Mike White, and it was like so unreal. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I live in LA. Both Amy and Walton posted tributes about their character using Fleetwood Mac's song. They were doing press together up until a few months ago, and now nothing. The only time Amy has posted content with Walton if it's co-tagged with HBO. Walton was asked if he was to be reincarnated, bizarre question, what would he be, and he said a fox. This was an interview he did with Amy, and part of his comments on her post was "miss you," and he did 2 foxes. So kind of shows that like there's a little bit of flirtiness here. Okay, I like how they're breaking it down on Reddit. Reddit really knows what to do. Now there was a photo shoot with Hollywood Reporter. It looks like Amy was not in attendance. They actually like photoshopped her into it. So I don't know if something happened there. There's some small red flags.
Amy Lou Wood ultimately became the one left behind. Rumor has it that during filming, Walton only went home once because he was busy spending time with Amy. The chemistry between Rick and Chelsea in the White Lotus was no mere acting. Jason Isaacs had already hinted to everyone about their secret relationship. When Walton posted a tribute to The White Lotus, the one thing he didn't do was tag Amy. Additionally, it's worth noting that at the White Lotus finale viewing party, Amy attended, while was absent. People speculate that it's because Walton has returned to his family, so he's avoiding too much contact with Amy. Obviously, Walton is back in New York with his family and friends. After all, married men generally don't leave their wives. Meanwhile, Amy said in an interview with Hollywood Reporter, "I was sad that Walton wasn't there because it was something that we did together."
Now, our guy that likes to talk a lot, Jason Isaacs, let's put a picture up of him. He is now on the defense saying that there's all these Sherlock Holmes out here and they're exploiting, and while one person posted this and blah, blah, blah. He said nobody's got the slightest clue. So even though he likes to bark, 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 don't really listen to him because I guess we're getting a little bit too close to the actual truth and he's starting to get in trouble for all the talking he's doing. I mean, really, we all know how Hollywood works. Maybe Jason doesn't.
Walton Goggins admitting that he does all of his own social media, him being like, have a person do it for me. Gagged. So you're telling me that means, one, he unfollowed Amy Lou Wood. They unfollowed each other. That wasn't like, oh, they're publicists. You know, oh, we're just not leaning into the ship, the PR. I'm married. I get that. Okay, I would get that. But them unfollowing each other and then him going on to post all these Instagram stories, all this behind the scenes photos back to back to back of him and Amy Lou Wood, of Rick and Chelsea cozying up together, and all the carousel posts of the two of them. That's more than like fulfilling an obligation for social media, you know, to promote a show.
It's bizarre behavior, especially from a married man. Also, wait, was his wife there? Did she witness any of this? Also, I think Walton is kind of like his character Rick, and he's the one who's a little bit butthurt, and he's probably the one who, I'm so bad at Instagram, but go and follow me at SloanHooks. I post every day, but I'm just, okay. What happens is you can block someone and then unblock them, and that means you both now just don't follow each other. So I think he did that, and the reason why I think that is because remember that person brought up the fact that he said miss you with fox emojis and things like that. Well, those got deleted because he blocked and then unblocked, and that's why they unfollow each other. I don't think he unfollowed and then Amy went and actually unfollowed him. I think Walton's actually, like, he's being pretty petty here. And it also seems like Amy Lou is calling out SNL for being petty. Now, they made fun of her teeth, which I think are adorable. I mean, don't we like real teeth, right? I'm thinking about getting, I am getting my 2 front teeth like fixed a little bit because there's like a chip. But like, should I get veneers? But I know I like my teeth, and I actually love her teeth. I think they're so beautiful, so cute. But SNL made fun of them having an actress wear these like, you know, these fangs. What's crazy is that Walton decided to comment on the skit and he said it was amazing, it was a masterpiece, he's such a fan. While AMIEE, she said, yes, take the piss for sure. That's what the show is about. But there must be a cleverer, more nuanced, less cheap way, right? That she's gotten so much support for her teeth. I mean, we all can't like afford, you know, a big, you know, chomping smile. Shout out to those who have a full face of veneers. I mean, I can't even understand, like, how much are those? Like, I don't even know. Sounds painful. I don't want those little teeth underneath my big teeth because I like to chew things. Excuse me. Anyways, a lot of people agree with AMIEE, but Walton, he's like, hell yeah, SNL, like, make fun of her. She did later write that SNL reached out to her to apologize, but did not provide any more specifics. It was actually so funny how she shared the news. She posted like a funny filtered like picture on her page saying that they apologized. So I'm glad they did. I would love to see her on SNL someday. The actress also defended SNL castmate Sarah Sherman, who played a version of her in the White Lotus character as Chelsea in the skit. And she said, I'm not mad at you. It's not her fault. Not hating on her, hating on the concept. So I think that's actually really mature too, because like we don't need to blame like this woman. I mean, it's all part of like this guy that runs everything. I mean, he approves everything. The guy that runs SNL, I can't remember his name. He starts with like an L or something. But anyways, I don't think it's the woman's fault. I don't think she meant it that way. I think they were trying to be funny. I think it's just like that cheap kind of comedy, like making fun of someone for being overweight. It's just like, really? You couldn't think a little bit harder about like something a little funnier?
They created a character version of Amy Lou Woods with teeth that were extra out and eyes that were like wide. And the butt of the joke was when someone talked about fluoride, and she said, what's fluoride? And it was a super misogynistic, appearance-based joke at the expense of a woman's looks. They missed the mark. I think we all agree on that. Amy Lou Woods' feelings were hurt, and it was all over the news this weekend. Well, today's news is that Walton Goggins, her co-star on White Lotus, reposted it and said it was a smash success. So did you see how there was a ton of fighting, and it's rumored that they're no longer on friendly terms when like he would gush about her on Instagram and call her a ray of light, and now he no longer follows her. And apparently it was like summer camp for adults, and they all live together and work together, and of course there's going to be arguments and everyone's dramatic because they're actors, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. But did he know about how Amy Lou Woods felt about this? Because I do think then, especially since they were so close, maybe it wasn't in good taste. What do you think? Did he do this on purpose?
Now, Amy Lou Wood is not Walton's first victim, if you want to call her that. I mean, I don't know what actually happened. There was a movie or a show, it was titled Justified, and he and this actress, Joelle Carter, had something going on. I guess, like, his partner, Nadia, did not think it was cool. On Instagram, they were very flirty, and there were a lot of rumors that he was getting with her. So this married man seems like he's not as committed as you would hope, you know. A lot of married men aren't. This post writes, this was from an old gossip blog in 2015 about the same exact situation with Joelle Carter from Justified. I don't know what Justified is. Comment below if you guys have heard of that before. I mentioned it in another forum, but maybe him and his artsy wife have an on set during press let passion fly. Oh, okay, so maybe they have an agreement that like when he's on set and he's like playing a love interest, he gets to, you know, do the dirty. But when it's over, they're monogamous. So to be fair, in the interviews, it seems like he takes himself and his craft pretty seriously. I commented here again. So maybe it's part of his craft. Maybe his wife doesn't mind. It's a little like it's giving Hollywood like normal, right? It's like almost giving like celebrity normal relationship. I personally, I don't shame anyone, but me and my boyfriend were just talking about it. We like really love our monogamy and we really trust each other, which is beautiful because if you guys know what happened 2 Coachellas ago, you know, you've been here for a while, and I really love you guys, those ones who've been here, especially that video. This person writes, yeah, not to create speculation, but it could very well be an agreement they have as he gets close during production for his process, but then he cuts ties afterwards. Another person adds, I've heard rumors that like half of Hollywood couples have some sort of dynamic like this, like an open marriage or open, and honestly, it's so true. Like living in LA for almost 3 years, yeah, it's like that. I'm like from the country in Virginia, Nothing like that's happening.
Walton Goggins and Amy Lou Wood. So I am choosing to ignore all of this. I just want to believe that they had a pure friendship on the set of the White Lotus and they connected through their characters, and that was that. I don't want to lean into Walton Goggins and Amy Lou Wood unfollowed each other before the season even started, and they were so close, and now they're not, and they're not seeing interviews together, and this, that, the other thing. What happened between the two of them? That is starting to upset me. Like the way that Walton Goggins talks about Amy Lou Wood, he's always like, I admire her as a person. I love her. Like I deeply, like all these really wonderful things about her. Right. But you don't hear Amy Lou Wood saying much about Walton Goggins. I mean, you've seen them say how close they were to each other while filming and all that, but you haven't seen them together since. Right. And of course, that has the internet going wild. They're coming up with all these rumors. Oh, they definitely had an affair. Da 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 da. Which I think is really dangerous to just throw out there. Yeah. Because Walton Goggins is married, and Amy Lou Wood probably doesn't want to be thrown into these like affair rumors that are literally coming out of nowhere just because they don't follow each other on Instagram. Why are we just think they're blocked? I know, they think they blocked each other. What went wrong? He kept saying that this was a love story, like a love story through and through, and then Amy was like, this is not a love story, but then she corrected it and was like, it's all of it. It's both. Maybe that's why they're fighting. Now they're fighting about their characters. It became too Chelsea and Rick. It got too much. And less Amy and Walton.
Honestly, that is really like F-boy behavior. If he goes to these sets and like, if there's vibes, he like just, you know, pursues it. And then afterwards he like cuts them off. I don't exactly know. But what a story. I'm actually doing a deep dive into Walton as well. He's gone through some tragic moments in his career and some other things, and I want to see if you guys want to see that. But thank you for tuning into this video. I love you all so much. Bye, guys.